in progress. All right, so welcome to Grassroots Open Mic Online featuring Jessie Lynn McMains. I'm your host, Tone Stanza, coming to you, broadcasting live from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And of course, we are connected to the universe via the World Wide Web. And we are happy to bring this program to you via Zoom, live, and Facebook Live. So if you are tuning in on Facebook, please be aware that there is a little bit of a lag from the live show. And we certainly are happy to have you on Facebook to view the show. And the chat is rolling there, of course. If you'd like to participate in the open mic, please join us. And there is in the description the link and the code to get to the Zoom, which is where the open mic happens. And if you'd like to participate in the open mic, please put your name in the chat. That functions as our list. And there are some deets in the chat about donations. If you'd like to send donations, please feel free. There is a variety of ways that you can do so. And I think I botched the clarity with our feature about how that works. We're trying new things. The online is relatively new product for us, so we're sort of getting our process down, but it is a 50-50 split with the feature. So anything that you donate, the feature will see half of that, and half of that goes to Family Power Music to keep up the good fight on championing the arts. So again, today's feature, Jessie Lynn McMains. Say hi to Jessie.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love it. So we have one person from Ohio. Is anyone else joining us today from outside of Wisconsin?
Yeah, Steve is in Indiana. You said that earlier.
Steve, hey, how are you? Welcome. So I think Indiana is still in Central, right? But is Ohio in Eastern?
What is that? I'm sorry.
What is the time zone that you are in?
I'm in Eastern here in Dayton. All of Ohio, yeah, we're Eastern here.
So you're coming to us from the future.
I am in the future. When you said 6:15, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so late.
Yeah, well, and in California, which
Yes.
I'm half from, and my father's side of the family is all there. In California, it's still the afternoon. So
yes, there's a couple of readings that I've been attending that are on the West Coast, and that gets really confusing because either it's a lot of those, it's like midnight here when they go, and I'm long asleep by then. So glad that the Midwest is so well represented here tonight. That's awesome.
Yes, Midwest represents strong, and we have some laureates in the house. Laureate's like the president, right? I mean, even when you're not the sitting president, you're still the president, right?
Yeah, I mean, they don't take the thing away from you. They're not like, oh, you used to be a laureate, not anymore,
Right.
I mean, you're not the active one, anymore, but you still keep that title. Yeah.
You know what they say, once a laureate. So the blurb that I am seeing about you, Jessie, poet, writer, spoken word performer, zine maker, and artist, among other things. Author of several books, chapbooks, most recently Wisconsin's Death Trip. That's the Bone and Ink Press of 2020, and Left of the Dial, the Scumbag Press, 2022. Hey, by the way, are those available online, or is there some way that we can procure those?
No, they're actually both out of print. This one is like my own press, so kind of self-published, but I have published other people's stuff through it too. And I'm actually working on like a new edition of it. That's kind of on the back burner for now because of too much other stuff. And this one was a small press actually out of England, and they only do like 30 copies straight up. It's just like very small print run chapbooks. So once it's gone, although I do actually have a digital version of it that you can like download for free or pay what you want. So I can drop all my info later in the thing.
Yes, drop it in the chat. I'd
Yeah.
say, drop it now, and then maybe when we'll drop it in the middle. I would assume some folks will filter it along the way, and as far as I know how Zoom works, I learned the hard way. But if you come back, if you leave and come back, or if you get thrown off and come back, or if you come in late, you don't see what was in the chat before you got there.
Right.
So that's sort of one of the shortcomings of Zoom. I've got to read up on if there's any way to to make the archive available to the chat archive available to anyone who's joining throughout the program. But yeah, so still available online to download for only as much as you'd like to donate dollars.
Yeah.
That's like,
and actually I think no, I don't I used to have a digital of this one too, but because I'm working on a new edition, I like stopped selling that one because I want to make sure they're like are the same version. So this one's currently unavailable, but yeah.
2016 through 17, Racine County Poet Laureate. And the July through December 2021, Racine Writer-in-Residence.
Hey, yo, Jessie.
Jessie won the 2019 Hal Prize for poetry, and her poem, Santa Muerte, I Ask You to Remember, received an Editor's Choice commendation in the 2023 Allen Ginsberg Poetry Awards. When she's not creating, you can find her wandering the neighborhood, haunting the stacks of the library, or playing music with her husband and kids. So warm grassroots round of applause for our feature this evening, Jessie Lynn McMains.
No.
Unlock those volumes. Come on.
Oh, but this was a segue into my, okay, so the last little blurb about my obligatory things before we actually get into the art is we have a couple of guidelines here. There's one at the Grassroots and then one that we added, being that we're online. So the general guideline for Grassroots, since we've been having this show since 2010, does anyone know what that guideline is?
No.
Respect the mic.
Oh.
Respect the mic. It's all we ask is that when someone is performing, you've got 3 pieces up to 10 minutes on the open mic. When someone's performing, if you could please keep your mic muted. And we would encourage proactive participation in applause. You've got to work a little bit harder at the online to do so, in that you've got to unmute your mic and then mute it when you're done applauding, after a performer is through. So respect the mic. That's typically just what it means. Keep the mic muted while someone is performing. Feel free to unmute between performers, show your love. And that's pretty much the guideline. Play to the room. We're family friendly. We don't want to discourage anyone from expressing themselves and sharing out. And so if there is some profanity in your artwork, seasoning we like, just gratuitous profanity for the sake of cursing, we discourage. Okay, so having gotten all out of the way, I would let me check and see if the open mic list is working. Okay, we either don't have anybody on the open mic list, or folks have not yet gone to the chat and put down on the list. So once again, we use the chat as the list, and if you'd like to perform in the open mic, please to use the chat to sign up. I
I
will.
hope someone does. I don't want to be the only.
Oh, Yeah, well, I've got a few that I like to share out of our founder anthology, which is a book that we dropped a couple of years ago. It's a product of out of the pandemic, and it's comprised of 15 pieces each from co-founders Nick Ramsey, myself, and Joshua Gill Sutton, Jay Scribe, the journeyman. This is available on our website, familypowermusic.com, for only $20.
Only as much as Jessie Lynn wants to pay for her books, and only $20 for these books, and only.
Not all my stuff is like pay what, starting at zero, but just that one.
It's like we're paying you.
We are going to be paying all of you much love.
Much love.
And more than just much love.
Okay, so I would like to kick off the show with a piece out of the anthology. I will use my host superpowers, making sure everyone is muted. Okay, this is called Have a Good One. The one you had wasn't good enough, unsatiated with the stuff it was made of. So you foraged to the pile for something more, not entirely sure of what to look for. Hinting at promise, you discover some clues, investigate a bit further into the news. Rarely in life does one come upon life's precious treasures worth putting into song. Gotta keep an optimistic heart and a watchful eye, steadfast will, persistently open mind. If sleeping when good ones creep in, gonna miss. Peeping plus creeping equals reaping. Distinctively hear the sound of victory in the method with a keen sense of detecting where the goods are collected. So when found between ups and downs of the sun, that's Almighty's way of saying, have a good one. Scholars, they say ones come and they go. Scriveners scribe similar wisdom into their scrolls. Mystery abounds in the universe all around. History grounds, reality's laws are written down. Seize opportunity by dwelling in the truth. Degrees of understanding create unity within the group. Polarize your outlook at the stimulus presented. Bold highs await the enlightened that's represented. Having a good one, it seems so simple. Days gone by, we don't always get it right. Only so much space in time's little wrinkle. Life's too short to let the dream pass the night. And let's have a good one.
There you go.
Coming up to the microphone, Grassroots, warm round of applause for Thomas, everyone. Thomas Carr.
Hello.
Whoa, I'm sorry. Let me look 1 second, Thomas. Let's try an exercise. Everyone unmute we're gonna do a group applause. Everyone unmute their mics. I'll give you 3 seconds to do so, and we'll all clap for Thomas in unison. 1, 2, 3. Give it up for Thomas Carr, everybody. Woo! All right. Take her away.
This is called Mars or the Moon. I'm going to do it with video off. What do? I cannot lift my head. I cannot turn a page. I cannot leave the chair. I cannot feel love or rage. I can feel loss, the heaviest of the soft. Fingers and toes feel that strain too. What do? Look upon the human world, a chopping block of wood. Look upon the sagging tree and the killing of its roots. Look upon the human world, a hook, a hook, a hook. What do? None of it's about me. None of it is about you. I cannot move. My skin crawls faster than my mind. My mind is done for too. What do? When death won't slip on its silver shoes, will I only hear its song and my heart refuse? What do? The music took you and you and you. Music or song, Mars or the moon, I never could tell those two. Before I was broken, I was wholly moved. What do I do? Run my fingertips down the razor's lip to paper cut all the way through. The blood running down is just blood running down, but for me it's new. What do I do when death glides in like a tall, lean skater? I will die, but not with you. I refuse. I refuse. A box around me, a great pyramid above you, a sunset on a plate, a crocodile raised for the shoe. That's what I found to do. Why should I fear time? Whether it is indiscreet or fast or slow, all that time does is let it go. But the omen I did see in the symmetrical cell tower tree, symmetrical in all 360 degrees, oh hell, I give up. Winter is hot, and war is upon the Jews. And that's it.
3 seconds for unmuting. 1, 2, 3. Grassroots, warm round of applause for Thomas Carr.
Hey, Thomas.
Should I say show your, say that 5 times fast. Should I say show your love? Should I say show your, I know some people like the snaps. I'm a clapper. Let's clap, clap, clap on, clap off. Great piece, Thomas. Thank you for sharing. Here's my son. Just he can't wait to take over as host of the show, but it's not quite his time yet. Maybe I should turn it over to him. Okay, so let me check the list here and see if we have we have another soul on the list. So I see more than 2 people present, but only 2 people on the list. Once again, if you'd like to share out on the open mic, I encourage you, please put your name down on the chat. And that is what we use as the list. Okay, well, seeing as the list isn't so stacked right now, I will offer you another piece of my own between open micers. Let's see here. I have just the one out of the Founder anthology called Excruciating Madness. This is called Excruciating Madness. Excruciating pain, causing raw suffering, simmering helplessly, endless suffocation. Lord, request made firstborn, torn ruthlessly from home, recovered seed warm, tasting a sampling. Sweet regret, open wound, twisting the knife into sore, staining the innocent, slowly dying from love, insistent crippling, feasting on spirits, cold and alone. It's exquisite, torturing, foregoing decency, savage barbarism, scraping down to the bone, burning mind crispy, sharply, salting, stinging. No refuge from evil, jagged little upheaval. Give us daily ration, friction of the fraction of the time spent laughing, searing, solidified, purged all the empty lies, dismounting from madness, reclamation status, sweet tender elation, blessing bestowed upon sober eye opening, viewing through clear prism, seeing with clear vision, saying clear intention, putting into action clear manifestation. I hear the horizon standing in ovation, losing battle, hatred. Love is leading the way. Take the current, turn it. Will energy reverse? Cause polarity shift? Magnet, resonant, burst. Positivity works. We all breathe atmosphere. Any pollution hurts. Filter out harmful rays. Careful channeling waves. Avoid make same mistake. Improving over time. Clearing mind of jargon. paint a soul trustworthy, forgiven, bond is stronger. Stronger, repairing damaged cells, so when they replicate, no way they mutate. Exact copy, always. Excruciating madness.
Yeah. There you go.
Grassroots coming up to the mic. Warm round of applause for Esteban, everyone. 3 seconds.
Esteban.
3 seconds for unmute. 1, 2, 3. Show your love for Esteban, everybody.
Woohoo!
All
Sweet,
right.
thank you, thank you. I'm gonna just do a little untitled piece. She lives for Tuesday. Agree to terms, feeds day after day to the same demon. She managed to acquire a day of rest, a chance to reknit the twisting of her arms, the fraying bone matter of her legs, to give her a second of relaxation, to purge the purgatory that crawls into her bones, all too eager to beg for non-existence. She lives for the knitter's circle, a breath between beats, the occasional volcanic eruption of laughter, so hard she catches ashes of it in her memory days later, so very noisy she can't hear the winter's howl of her loneliness. She considers buying more cats. She has not yet been defined by them, and the assumed insanity of anyone willing to gather so many of them in one place at one time. Sometimes she wonders if the hunger of 20 bellies, the prodding of 40 paws, will claim her with nuzzles and warmth. On Tuesdays, she knits blankets that no one uses, will just be donated to Goodwill if she forces such gifts upon others. She imagines a world where each of her blankets warms the toes of her friends and family alike, and knits anyway, knowing that in this world, her blankets will only be there to help strangers one day identify her body. Thank you.
3 seconds for unmute. 1, 2, 3. Grassroots, warm round of applause for Esteban, everybody. Show your love.
Esteban. Holy moly.
It's mostly about the blanket. Thank you for sharing out, Esteban. I pray that Thomas, Esteban, that you may share out further when we come back around. My spider senses are telling me that we are going to have time to do so, unless the list gets super stacked between now and then. Okay, let's see here. Not on the list, though I would like to call out at this time Family Power Music co-founder Nick Ramsey. Everybody, warm round of applause. Show your love for Nick Ramsey, everybody.
I was gonna prefer, because we're writing an exquisite corpse here at my family's house, and we're working on it. We're pretty far along. It's pretty awesome. I think it's okay. And I'm gonna just defer to that in a little bit after Jesse's feature. I would say I see Joe on the list, and if I could just say, this day the bricks lay pointing pleasantly. I'm a peasant giving presents, divine pleasantries.
Yeah. Okay, just a taste. We'll look forward to that exquisite corpse. Founder Ramsey. All right. By the way, we do call out of order. Well, the host reserves the right to call whoever he wants on the list at any time. I happen to be calling semi chronologically, being that there's now 3 people on the list, but just so that Joe knows. But now I do believe I will be calling up Joe. Unmute for applause. Grassroots, show your love, everyone, for Joe E. Everybody, Joe E.
Yeah, Joe.
You.
Joe, you're muted. I
Are we all muted? Can anybody hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh,
Joe?
hi, Jessie. It looked like some people still had the mute on, but I could see mouths moving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still seems muted, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Host is muted. Joe is muted. I
Oh,
think.
Weird
sorry.
thing is it shows him as not muted,
No,
but
Joe
we
is
can't.
not muted. And
Oh.
here I am talking to all of you.
Oh,
and
there
my
you
mic
are.
is muted. We're gonna give him a minute to see if he can get his mic together. You might have to, on the mic icon, there's a way that you can check your microphone. You might have to switch your sound card. You may have to reset the computer. Sometimes another application is using your sound card or using your sound, and you have to let it, you have to have that application release it, and so that Zoom can take it over. If you have a PC, sometimes I'll go into my task manager and I'll restart my Windows Explorer. That's the second to last resort besides restarting the whole computer. But well, Joe, we cannot hear you. However, we'll circle back to you and give you a minute to see if you can dial it in. You might have to restart your computer or go into if you, I don't know if you have a PC or a Mac, but on my PC I can go into my sound application and have it troubleshoot. So you can ask it to troubleshoot and see what the deal is. Okay. And so in the interim, before we go to, we're getting pretty much into the feature zone, but it looks like Nick might be ready with the Exquisite Corpse coming up here. Maybe not. I'm gonna do one more. And then we'll see. Nick, is the Exquisite Corpse ready, Nick?
We are 3/4 of the way through.
Okay. I will do
I'd say
one more.
I would say just jump into Jesse, and Joe, he'll be ready soon, I'm sure.
I'm sure he will. That might be it. That's just as well. We'll give you, okay, so you're 3/4 of the way through. I'm sure it'll be finished by then. I would like to, at this time then, call up our feature.
And I actually have like a few minutes to, I gotta like go in the other room quick before
Not a problem. I
Okay,
will,
just a mini break.
I will, I will do one more piece. And in fact, so this could be a break intermission. I'll do a piece. If you're tired of hearing me, refresh your beverage, whatever you have to do. Call a couple other folks. Hey, come on over to the Zoom. Jesse's about to perform. Also, just as a reminder, we split the donations 50-50 with the feature. So if you'd like to go to, and I will paste it one more time in the chat for those that joined after I pasted it. If you would like to go through your preferred method and donate, we would be most grateful. This is the professional version of Zoom, and it is not free. It gives us all these fun features that we can do to facilitate an experience like this for you. And Jessie is an amazing artist, and we are very grateful to have her as your feature. So we have a Venmo that's at Family Power Music through Venmo. The Cash App is actually, I would ask you to refrain from the Cash App today because we're having a glitch with our Cash App. Venmo, PayPal is a good way, and on our website, there's links here. There's a direct way that you can donate through our website also. And we will see those donations, and we will have those and make sure that the feature gets her honorarium. Okay, so having said that, Joe, might the sound have been worked out? Maybe not. Okay, I will give him some more time. I see you unmuted, but we still cannot hear you. And she asked for a few minutes, sounded like maybe 3 minutes or something like that. I will read.
I'm back, by the way.
Oh, hey, well done. Jessie Lynn McMains is a poet, writer, spoken word performer, zine maker, and artist, among other things. She's the author of several books, chapbooks, and most recently, Wisconsin Death Trip. She was the 2016-17 Racine County Poet Laureate and the July to December 2021 Racine Writer-in-Residence. She won the 2019 Hal Prize for Poetry, and her poem, Santa Muerte, I Ask You to Remember, received an Editor's Choice commendation in the 2023 Allen Ginsberg Poetry Awards. When she's not creating, you can find her wandering her neighborhood, haunting the stacks of the library, or playing music with her husband and kids. Grassroots, please unmute. 1, 2, 3. Show your love for tonight's feature. Jessie Lynn McMains, everyone.
Woo!
Hey, Jessie.
Yes. Woohoo.
Thanks, everyone. And thanks so much to Tone and Family Power and Grassroots for having me feature. Oh, that's weird. Now I'm big on the screen. It's always jarring. Okay, so I'm just going to get right into it. And I'm actually starting with a poem from Wisconsin Death Trip because today is, I don't know if they still do it. I imagine they do, but they used to always, in Milwaukee, there used to be all these events on April 14th for Milwaukee Day because it's 414 and the Milwaukee area code is 414. So do they still do that? Like, it's been a while since I've been there for it.
You know, it's so funny that that you say that. As I all of my jargon and ramblings on tonight, I've been absent of any 414 day speak. My wife and I have been going back and forth about that all weekend. She's all about it. Growing up I was born in Milwaukee. I'm a hybrid. I lived half my life in California, half here, but through all my travels in Milwaukee until the last handful of years, I've never caught a wind of a 414 day, and I'm like, stop trying to force it. It ain't gonna happen. But I think for a lot of people, it is.
I
And
think
that's-
I only ever went to anything like 414 day like one
Yeah.
time, and that was about. It was after I had left. Like I lived in Milwaukee for quite a number of years, and it was after I'd left Milwaukee, lived in California for a while, and then came back to the area, and I was like up visiting friends. But that was like 12 years ago, and I think that was the only time. But
Where'd
I
you
still
live in California?
Oakland.
Hey, I lived in Marin. I'm from San
Oh
Rafael.
yeah,
San
yeah,
Rafael, Marin, Sonoma, Petaluma.
yeah. Very
Oakland,
cool.
Oakland's the stuff. Yeah, well, 414 day, it is. So for those of you that celebrate, or for those that celebrate, more power to you.
Well, in any case, this is a Milwaukee poem, so that's why I'm reading it. I'm starting with it today. It's
Yeah.
called Mary of the Factory Town. Come drunken lumberers, brewers and bartenders, out into the sobering cold. Come sailor spirits of the sunken tugboat, fishers in electric rivers, bridge to nowhere wanderers, out into the yeasty fog come, with your crumbled cream brick, your hand-rolled cigarettes and co-op coffee, with your pennies crushed on the tracks, a tithe to pay the ferrywoman, with your rusted railroad spikes, with your crushed plastic cups from the East Side parties you stumbled upon when you were already 40 ounces deep. Oh, come all you too cold, too drunk to rest, out onto the beer line trail, and sing a song of barley malt, $1.59. Oh, sing a hymn to everything which made your city famous. Sing and speak in all your tongues. Mare, mutter, madre, mama, until she comes. Mary descending from the crescent moon and her voluminous red skirts, lips smeared with rust, to kiss crushed pennies on your eyelids, to squeeze a concertina lullaby and serenade you now to sleep. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so next I'm just going to go with one that this one also mentions a couple Milwaukee related things as well as a bunch of other stuff. This one's just fun. It's a lot like goofier than most of my stuff, but I enjoy it, so I'm going to read it. It's kind of after the style of Nate Slauson, who's one of my favorite poets, but not after a specific poem of his, just vaguely in the style of. It's called I Got a Hole in My Head, It's as Big as the Sun. You are so baseball season, and if I were a rhythm chicken, I'd rally your rabbit. I could be your griddle. Do you want a grilled cheese? We could go Boris the Sprinkler, and the cheese would slide out and stretch just to snap between your buttered teeth. Like you're so lactose intolerant, and I'm so dairy state, and today the sky is the color of Blue Moon ice cream, with little whipped swirls of clouds on top, and having a lemon lime soda with you is even more fun than eating fudge banana swirl with the Philly fanatic. But back to baseball, you screwy diamond. If you threw a mean slurve, I'd be your catcher, and we could mix metaphors and slide into second base together. Or maybe we could go 1950s and doo-wop. You be my Bobby Sox, and I'll be your juvenile delinquent. The cat in black with my hair greased back, blasting my cursed hi-fi for you. Or I'm at the soda shop, hip-checking the jukebox, shaboom. I'm sliding up to the counter, ordering grilled cheese and sky-colored ice cream for two.
Number did you want to say on here?
You be my man behind the counter in a paper hat, and I'll say, hey, daddy-o, scoop that blue. All right, that's that one.
Yeah.
It's the blue moon, love.
Okay. All right, so I know. So is it okay if I read one that does have some profanity.
Yes.
Okay, because I saw your son lurking around, and so I just like want to, make sure. Like
We-
I'm trying to stick to the ones that don't have a bunch of,
We tell him is regarding adult language, the metaphor we use is, it's like the car, you can put your hands on the steering wheel, but you can't drive the car. You're not old enough. So
yeah, okay.
he knows the
No,
words, he could say them, but he doesn't really know the best usages of all of them, context and all that. So it's not time
Yeah,
for
just
adult
checking
language.
because I mean everybody has like different
Yes.
comfort levels for when, what their kids hear. So
Go for it.
all right, so this one is from Left of the Dial. And the little backstory to this was that all the poems were like, well, it's sort of inspired by the days when I was a college radio DJ. And so all the poems either like take place during those years, sometimes on air, sometimes off, but they're all like inspired by a specific song that I played on a college radio station. And so this one is called Blood and Rebellion. And the song that it sort of came from is the Tossers' song Altercations. And it's actually I wrote the poem as a sestina because I thought it would be really funny to write this like classic poetic form featuring language and subject matter that you wouldn't normally find in one. So anyway, Blood and Rebellion. I've come back from Chicago, from my rebellious dropout from the prestigious university where my job was wandering the streets of Chicago alone at night. Some nights wandering the stacks of WNUR, hunting records by the Lawrence Arms, Naked Ray Gun, anything with Chicago blood. And drunking, whatever was available, till I saw Irish. Now I'm back in Wisconsin, sending the song of my favorite Shirish punks out over the airwaves. We're all locked in here, rebelling, me and my co-DJs, co-conspirators, while the fucking bloody campus cops patrol the building, wait to nick us. It's their job to kill our delinquency, our juvenile exuberance, stop us playing records. Stop anyone from being here in this building tonight. This building has had thefts and vandalism some recent nights. It wasn't us. We were too busy taking trains to Chicago to see Irish punk poets like our favorite Shane McGowan, or buying records to play later on the air. We've amped it up, our anger, our rebellion, for this show, blasting folk, punk, rap, metal, like it's our job to say fuck the police with all the drunken rancor in our blood. They don't want us here. They might as well try and stop my blood pumping, those power-hungry rent-a-pigs. I switched to a night slot so I could say fuck them. They're just doing their job. Well, I can turn this radio station into a brawl, around in a raucous Irish pub. I can say those 7 words, you shitty bitches, and rebel against the fucking FCC. Play all the rowdy, cursing records I want. Now it's a Chicago band, an album put out by Thick Records, where I'll one day intern until the time I leave abruptly, my blood pounding in my ears, run down the stairs, my drunk punk heart rebelling against my ribcage, out of the coyote and into the Wicker Park night, because my crush, my love, my drunken Southside Shirish boy showed up unexpectedly, and that'll be the end of that job. The Tossers. They are out to friggin' nick you, cause that's their friggin' job. Next, we'll play all the other ACAB anthems, every anti-cop record we can think of, and I'm just angry, fucked up, undrunk, Irish enough to be half heartbroken, half hopefully resigned. My blood a reel with mandolin, tin whistle, fiddle, brogue on this blue-lit emergency night on Earth while we send out these songs, ballads, these hymns of rebellion. Maybe they'll expel us, their job's at odds with ours. But I have given my blood to this station and only stolen a few records in return, nicked a few nights like this one. So Irish me up and let us sing, so high on fucking rebellion. That's that one.
Yeah, Jesse.
Thank you. All right. All right. I have no idea how long I've even been reading, so can someone tell me, like, do I still have more time? I feel like I'm sure I do. I feel like it's been an hour already, but
Yeah, you have plenty of time.
Okay.
20 minutes more.
Oh, God.
Whatever you'd like.
okay. So I'm gonna read a bunch of new ones now because I'm doing I'm one of the people doing the 30/30 on the Tupelo Press website this month. They've been doing that, I think, for 12 years now. Every month they have like different you can apply, and like different poets. They do it every month, not just for April. And somewhere between like 3 and 9 different poets a month send in a draft every night to be posted the next day on the website. So I am doing that this month, and you can follow along with the poems and everything else that goes with that on the link that I put in the chat, and I'll drop it again later. But so I've been writing a lot of new work, and I'm going to go ahead and read some of those and not like freak out that they're just drafts. So this one is called Jack Was Every Inch a Sailor. I met him one day when the tall ships docked in the harbor. He sat by the water and played a beat on his bucket, a soft one sometimes, matching the rhythm of the water. Other times louder, more insistent. The beat of pirates at battle, of workers on ship's decks. I sat down by him and we sang shanties, drink up me hearties yo-ho, what shall we do with the drunken sailor? Then took a break to watch the ships, the wooden hulls black against the water, the masts and rigging trembling in the near tropical breeze. He was out there every day, he said, as long as the ships stayed around. Out there in the sun, bucket drumming, until the cops chased him away for unspecified crimes, and he'd longboard home, return early in the morning. I went back as often as I could, to sing with him, get stoned, watch the boats. His name was Jack. Shorn-headed white boy into soul, ska, and reggae, always in a flat cap and black pants torn off just below the knee, praying. He had bright blue eyes, which I can't describe except to say the bright didn't lie in their color, but something behind them. A St. Elmo's fire raging inside him. He dreamed of one day sailing on one of those tall ships. Autumn came, then winter, and we met at the pub, and I followed him like a lost sea dog, and he the lighthouse. Taking walks down to the water, smoking weed, hiding from the police. Rum drunk in the pub, playing Clash songs on the jukebox, picking fights with Nazi skins. My boyfriend jealous, thinking I was in love. And I was, but not like that. I wanted Jack to teach me how to live in his fearless boy body, give me the blue fire from his eyes. For a while, we had a rock steady band, the two of us and 2 other boys. Jack and I were the rhythm section, he on drums and me on bass, and for a minute, we were great. Then I moved away and we lost touch, and I didn't see him again for a long while. I dreamed a dream the other night about the last time I ever saw him. It was outside a ska show in Chicago. Jack was nodding out on the sidewalk. I tried to ask him what he'd been doing all those years. He could barely speak. But he looked at me and I saw that all the light was gone from his insides, his eyes gone Lakestone flat. He should have been a drummer, boy, he should have lived a pirate's life. He should have sailed on a tall ship, climbed the rigging, quick and nimble. Somehow he sailed elsewhere, got swept into the sea and swallowed by a whale. Little boys sucked into the deeps, somewhere his blue fire snuffed out, somewhere neither I nor anyone could reach. And
That's
Jesse.
a hell of a draft. That is
It's
an
a-
amazing draft.
Thank you.
Amen. Amen. We're our own worst critic. That's fantastic.
Thanks. And this one is called Somewhere in San Francisco. Somewhere in San Francisco, not sure where exactly, but I knew I was in love with you for the second, maybe third time. We were 2, maybe 3 beers into the night, and you were on some mystic shit about drinking you could take or leave, drugs the same. The only things you still craved were love and smoke. You lit a cigarette, and I could have said some shit about love and smoke, how they were near invisible but could still seep in and fill you up. But what did I know? I was in love, thinking how many times had I already fallen in love in San Francisco. I was in love with San Francisco. Anchor steam and Skid Row, free blow, mission burritos, jazz, amnesia, city lights, tenderloin, yes, and that bright painted wall in the alley next to Vesuvio. Silhouetting, Indian warrior, cocked, and the salt, the salt, the salt. Hated the gentrification, but loved that city. And you. And I knew you were going to break my heart, or my heart was going to break over you, but it would be my own fault. I thought of that Elliott Smith song. I thought of the fortune teller who said, girl, you're going to have more heartbreak than most. Maybe you've got bad juju and people hurt you, or maybe it's just you're a writer extra sensitive and you take things harder than you should. You were still talking and shut up, I should have said, you're going to break my heart and it won't even be your fault. My heart breaks all the time. I wanted to say heartbreak was my praxis. How else to crack open and let all that fog and smoke, all that doomed love, all that terrible light in. Thank you. That one. Okay, so
Yeah.
Oh, those are punching some buttons. The tenderloin.
in a good way, I hope.
The
Like,
salt. Yeah, no, it's that's great. Old stomping grounds. That's a great
Oh.
piece. I'm glad we have that archived.
so, okay, this one is called In Wonderland. Woke before 8 to the house rattling. Thought it was an earthquake. It was a jackhammer. They've dug a big hole in the street to replace a water pipe. When I see the white and marmalade cat that wanders the neighborhood, I follow. Together we clamber down. Well, the cat clambers. I fall. There's nothing much down there but sewer stench and layers of sediment. And flowers. The early violets, the white ones with faint purple-blue veins. Little sparks in the dark. Curiouser and curiouser. I could, perhaps, keep falling forever. But it begins to rain, and the work crew returns to fill the hole in, so Kat and I, we climb back up. I'm home in time for tea. Darjeeling or oolong, doesn't much matter. The water is thick, with a rusty tang. And this one is called Haunted Garden. My mother once told me those tiny white butterflies, the ones with the little black dots on their wings, were spirits. She said they were the souls of our dear departed come to say hello, then goodbye again. Used to be I only saw a few each year, then I started gardening. They proliferate among the greens. Whenever I pluck a few leaves of kale or collard for my supper, dozens upon dozens of the powdery white, blue too sometimes, things fly up, flutter around my hands and face, sometimes land on me. Hello, I say. Hello, uncle, great-grandfather, cousin twice removed. I think sometimes of removing the eggs nestled in the stalks before they hatch, before the caterpillars eat holes in the leaves of collard and kale. Then I don't. These ghosts are hungry, but they're mine.
Yeah, Jesse.
I might go.
So do I have time for one more? Yeah.
You have time for several.
Oh God.
Sweet.
I just always feel like I'm going over my All right.
Is there, let's check the temperature. Is everybody having a good time?
Yes. Having a very good time over here.
Incredible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does
I've never
anybody,
had
is
it.
anybody getting the vibe where it's like, oh man, maybe just one or two more from her, but she should cut it off, or are we all good with as many as you'd like to share out?
No
Keep
one
them
has-
coming.
Okay.
Keep them,
Now I have to
Good.
look.
keep them coming, amen.
Now I have to look through like my giant folder of stuff.
What, one more time, everybody, Grassroots, show your love, Jessie Lynn McMains and her folder of stuff.
My
It's
folder of stuff.
a great band name.
Let the
Or the name of
folder
a children's
unfold.
book. Jessie Lynn and the folder of stuff.
And their folder of stuff. They have so much stuff in their folder. You just don't even know.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Well, Jesse's looking. I just want to say, Joe,
Yeah.
I love you, man. Much love. I saw your message earlier.
All right. All right. I think I'm gonna go with first another new one. Which it started as my poem for the 30/30 that I wrote last night that went up today. And then I just so you if you go on the website you can read like the original draft, but then today I like completely rewrote it because I wanted to. So it's called Rereading Rilke's Duino Elegies in April 2024. And so there are some lines from Rilke's second elegy as translated by Stephen Mitchell, not in the original German because I'm not that good at German. So every angel, and this is going to be like probably the only like mainly political poem that I'm reading tonight, by the way. Every angel is terrifying, and yet, alas, I can hardly think of anything more terrifying than this time I'm living in. Terrifying, yes, oh angels, but I invoke you daily. I invoke you whenever someone says, don't make this about you. I know it's not about me. None of the terrors on the news are yet mine. But it can be almost deadly. That is, will kill a human soul, trying not to write about certain things. I invoke you, angels, soul birds, whenever I write about these things that are so vast and frightening, I can't look at them without turning away. I can't turn away. I invoke you whenever I see the blood-smeared rubble, whenever I watch as another hate group targets another vulnerable section of the population. I invoke you whenever I think of the children. So many say think of the children, but only seem to care when it's their own. Oh, angels, all children are mine. I see the faces of my children in the face of every Gazan child, every young soldier self-immolating in response to injustice, every kid in every corner of this country beat to death for being queer. And I am terrified. Even when I look into the faces of my own children, though right now they are creation's pampered favorites, in terms of their gender and the cast of their skin, I do not know what they or their lives may yet be. And I am terrified. Oh, angels, I invoke you whenever my husband doesn't understand my terror or sorrow. Not that he thinks I'm wrong for caring, but for carrying it. They're not your children, he says. Why carry that around? He says when he sees me breaking under the weight, when I, moved by deep feeling, evaporate. I am making this about me. I invoke you, oh angels, whenever someone says, don't pretend it's hard to be happy just because gestures around. Your life, in comparison, is so easy. They're not wrong. Happiness comes easy, oh angels, when I watch the spring trees begin their bud, when the birds, little backyard angels, flies so low overhead I can hear the whir and whistle of their wings. And you've entered my bloodstream, the room, the whole springtime is filled with you. Happiness is easy. It's the rest I feel I have no right to. I invoke you then, too, when I feel such a vast helplessness to do anything about injustice and I get so angry I cry. When I get angry with my own children for interrupting me when I'm trying to write and I snap at them and then feel terrible and I cry. I invoke you those times when I'm so sad I feel like I'm dying, when I weep over nothing, the passage of time etching talon marks around my eyes, a painting of cormorants flying at sunset, black smudges winging across the purple sky. I cry even at times when I'm happy at first, then joy turns to sorrow. When my children rescue worms as we till the hot black earth, breaking ground for this year's garden. There is joy in watching them take the purple wrigglers in their hands, transporting them to a safe patch of dirt. Reminds me I did that with my best friend when I was a child, rescuing worms before her father mowed the lawn. Then the sorrow in knowing it's futile. You can't save all of them. You can't save everything. And I'm crying again. Why am I crying? After all, trees do exist. The houses that we live in still stand. My life is not perfect, but for now I am alive and so are my children. Oh, angels, I invoke you as I sit reading Rilke. If only we too could discover a pure, contained human place. Through my window comes the scent of sun-warmed pavement and the gently rough sound of skateboard wheels on sidewalk. And this is what I want for all of us, Earth's holy children.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Oh, it's a powerful piece, Jesse.
Thank you.
So that, oh, I got a little misty-eyed from that one.
All right. I will just read two more, both shorter than the last one. One's really short. So. This one is called Our Windows, Our America. He had that electric sugar shock of dark hair, like the gravel-voiced man who sang my favorite sad songs, was haloed always by something like smoke rings and coffee steam, blurred headlights of passing cars, the moon's corona, a spray of tiny white moths appearing in a shock, then gone. He grew up outside Rockford, the first of my Illinois boys who shared the same first name. I met him halfway the 1st of June, laughing, "Here, I made you a mixtape." My favorite music. We met as friends. I was already taken. How indiscreet. My. That night he took pictures of me, smoke wreathed over coffee by the window glass, blurred beneath the bare bulb glare in the Howard Johnson's basement. It was the first time I'd ever felt like someone, a subject worthy of a photograph. I knew I'd fall like falling off a skateboard, rolling down the hill by the Oasis over Interstate 90. Inevitable as skinned knees, grass stains, a busted lip. I cough and I choke. In the parking lot, we found a child's lost craft project. Construction paper stars strung on blue yarn, sun faded but still intact. A bouquet of stars. Years on, I worked for a season in a flower shop, a job the second boy with that same first name helped me find. It was Christmas time. I arranged bouquets, precious thyme rose red, dendrobium orchid white with yellow starred center, evergreen of spruce boughs. After work, I'd head north to the Art Institute, stand again in front of Chagall's America windows. The warm blue light, all the people dancing, making music, violins, the moon, the swirl, menorid candles, purple bird, yellow-green spray of flowers, floating above the blue buildings. I'd remember him. Oh, if I could make our windows, our America, they'd have the broken bottle glass, drought-dry grass, blur of headlights, sun-warmed suburban aqueducts, skateboards, skinned knees, swirl of smoke, coffee steam, glacier-carved lakes, blue dark icy shock, mixtapes, tiny cities, the halfway places where we met, the moths. Two people dancing on the flowered tiles of a filmic kitchen, so happy together. The rain we got caught in, the blue taste of the rain which stained his skin, a faded bouquet of construction paper stars. These letters asking why I was made the desperate way I am. All right.
Yeah,
Thanks,
Jesse.
everyone. I've just got one more. A grocery list which turned halfway through into a poem. Garlic, green onions, bread, bacon. My entire project is awe that I am still here. My entire life is a poem for those that aren't. Can you help me with anything? Yes. Bourbon, beans, you have most of what I want and none of what I need. My lost ones back. Are there any left in the back? Eggs, coffee, anything in the clearance aisle with the stale muffins and overripe bananas? Later, at the last gas station, the one right on the line where suburbia turns countryside, I stand at the pump and hear a barred owl hooting. Who cooks for you? Who cooks for you all? Flour, sugar, salt, the earth's curved symmetry. There are doors in the mud. I am counting the ribs of the night.
Yeah. Ooh.
I need everybody to unmute their mics and show some love for Jessie Lynn McMains. For
Yeah,
real.
Jesse.
For real, everybody.
Thanks so much, everyone.
Wow.
Love, respect.
So good. Okay, let me see here. Remove the spotlight, and I think what'll happen is whoever's talking, you can see them. Imagery, first thing that comes to mind. Your words take me to so many different places. I'm elated at all of your sharing. Thank you so much for being our feature and sharing your art. You gave us all of what we wanted and what we needed.
Thank you so much for having me as the feature tonight. It was great.
Awesome.
Even though I had to look through my folder full of stuff.
Could I use my host privilege and request an encore? Is that okay? Would anyone? Can I move for an encore? Can I get a second?
I second this request.
Encore, encore.
The
Right, for
motion
Keller or
carries.
rock show. Encore. I have to leave the room and pretend for like 5 minutes that I'm not coming back.
One more song.
One
Please
more
don't ask me to
piece.
play Freebird.
One more piece. No stairway. Might you have one more for us?
Yeah. I can do that. Oh no, folder full of
Awesome.
stuff again.
Awesome.
Okay. Any just what do people want to hear? Like what kind of
Something in the vein of love.
something that I have a lot of love. Something in the vein.
Well, there it is.
I mean, I don't know. Oh, but what? What? Here we go. This one's kind of a cute, silly one, but it's this is also from Left to the Dial, and this one is called Pretty in Punk Rock Girl. So this one was off of the Dead Milkmen song Punk Rock Girl, which was one of the songs I played, I believe, on my first ever college radio show, like 1,000 years ago. So, in the summer was the cedar, the swaying was the summer after high school, was the last summer of the 1990s. The summer I fell for punk rock girls, the slam dance summer, turning on to try and burn. Summer burning into fall, I fell for girls who could eat me alive with fudge banana swirl, Pizza grease and iced tea adventures took us stealing CDs from shopping malls we laughed at all fall. Was the summer of my secrets, leaving notes on bumper stickered cars, leaving secrets about cities, the Philly of my shredded heart, where I left my Miss Washington, D.C., was a tale of 4 cities. She's my only true. Hey, suburbia, we're in love with Illinois. North to the core of Kenosha, to the college I started college. It was still the 90s, barely. Walked the halls and met a girl there. She almost bombshell knocked me drop dead. I was ducky, like the toaster said. Pretty in punk attitude, aesthetic. My aesthetic was fall, the trees burning on to try and turn orange, yellow, red. Burn, don't freeze, don't move. You've been chosen. An extra daydream of a movie adaptation to the sequel of The Summer of My Aesthetic Secrets. I fell in love with people, not genders, except girls. My gender was angsty nerd, love-struck misanthrope, sheltered boy, daydreaming a rowdy, delinquent girlfriend to eat pizza with, my asthmatic accordion heart. Was the fall I dropped out of the library, turned on to radio where I directed my love, broadcast my secrets, spun my notes, left on airwaves, lyricked my stream of consciousness. I summered a fall, and the radio boys called me hip chick, asked, "Do you have a beau?" I smiled, fell, well, no, it was only me and the punk rock girls I could only hope were tuning in.
Yeah, Jesse.
Thanks.
Cold, man. Cold.
I summered a fall. My accordion heart. Get out of here. My asthmatic accordion heart. That's what. Wow. Very cool. Thank you so much, Jesse.
Thank you again. Thanks, everyone.
One more time, everyone. Please to unmute and show your love for this evening's feature, Jessie Lynn McMains, everybody.
Woo!
Yeah.
Very awesome. Now I really have egg on my face for my oversight last show. Let's call you on the list. Oh my God.
It was totally an accident. So
It was obviously. I mean, come on. I'm not like I'm like diabolically sitting on it or behind my computer, like, oh, I'm not going to call her. No, not at all. Okay, so we've got the great news is, it's April 14th. You still have time to do your taxes or put an extension in, right? Beautiful weather. I don't know if it's beautiful weather in Ohio or where you are, but in Milwaukee and Wisconsin, pretty good weather. We just had a bomb-ass feature at Grassroots online, Grassroots with Mike Online, Jessie McMains. There are some donation links in the chat. Please find it in your heart to click a link, go and open up a tab, and please give generously. We split 50-50 with the feature. And then we have another 31 minutes scheduled for this show for some sharing out, which is exciting because we've got some powerhouse artists that are still with us right now, and hopefully they'll be willing to share out, which is exciting. Okay. So we're into the round robin now, unless I'm mistaken. If you have joined us since the last open mic set, this is the beginning of the second open mic set. We're going to go into the round robin. I am going to thoroughly check the chat, the list. We use the chat as the list to make sure that we're not missing anyone. And then who I aim to call at the top of the second set will be Nick Ramsey and family at at Fam's house for their exquisite corpse. Are you ready with that, Nick? You got that punched up?
Check this out. Perfect.
All right, everyone, Grassroots. Show your love. Warm round of applause for Nick Ramsey and Fam. About to drop an exquisite corpse on our heads, everybody.
Well, I want to give a big round of applause to Jessie. And man, Jessie, you've always been such a, I mean, you just always steady dope, man. Really appreciate that. And I just look around at this list right here and just see, I mean, everybody knows. We all know the powerhouse here, man. We can go anywhere. So I want to just say that I'm at my wife's sister's house, and you could see their family on the back wall here. You know, this is Amanda by the sunflower and whatnot. That's the eldest daughter, and then there's Seth, who's on top over there, and the foursome there, and Ethan and Alec, and this big family power action going on. And we walked the dog at Cliffside Park earlier, and we went up crazy steep hills and down just the same, and it's been a good day. And they wanted to, Jessie, you brought up the pizza. We decided to stick over here and get pizza. So we had some Durango's pizza, wrote a corpse, and I said, if we can get online, we'll be all good. So that's where we're at. I love the skateboard references. Joe and I, for sure, I know Joe's down on the skateboard references. The fact that we got all these incredible MCs and poets and family members. See Mama Makovic in the place to be. See Lisa. I see everybody, and I see the friends and family of Jessie. You know, Kay, and I believe I can scroll down and learn a little bit more. The friends, man, all around. We even had people from California that were tuning in for a minute or two. So I mean, we're nationwide here, man. It's awesome. I'll get into it. So much love. I want you guys to all remember, man, like the brevity of this life. You know, we can choose to do what we're gonna do. And right now you're choosing to be with a bunch of people that are creative and expressing themselves, and you're fully listening, or at least partially listening, and receiving their expressions, because that's gonna be the way we understand them as people. This is it. Real quick, I want to introduce my family, if that's okay. I'm gonna put it on mute real quick. I'm gonna get them. 1 second.
That's what's up. You know, while he goes and wrangles up the fam, I just want to point out the consummate host. He can't help it. Oh, look at. Okay, what's up,
My
fam?
wife Nicole. This is my sister right here. This is Heidi.
Hello.
So he's not sharing the poem out, everybody. You can unmute, and we can commiserate at this time.
1 minute. 1 minute.
What's going on, fam? I'm glad to see that we've got Esteban, I'm looking at you. Thomas Take Engine, I'm looking at you. Nicholas Michael Ravnacar, I'm looking at you. You're on notice for sharing out in the round robin.
All right, so we got 2 dogs also. We got Cassius, we got Cleo. They're cousins. Cassius doesn't ever get a chance. It's our dog. Doesn't ever get a chance to hang out with Cleo on a regular. And this right here is Paul. So that's Paul. That's my brother right there.
Yeah.
So we got
Hey,
Paul,
Paul.
and Heidi, and Nicole, Cassius, and
Hey,
Cleo.
Heidi.
Hey.
So we wrote this real quick. We did a good old exquisite corpse. You can't see that at all, but I don't know. It's okay. Here it is, and I'll be out of here. I want to give some extra love real quick to Tone, man. Much love to Tone. Thank you, Tone, for hosting this and taking over responsibility for this. I mean, it's a big responsibility to do this. And you do a great job, man.
Love you, brother.
Glad that we're
Thank you.
we're able to receive that. Thank you, man. Here it is. Exquisite Corpse. When was the last time you sunk your boots into the earth? Trotting uphill using roots for grip. We notice the colors of tiny flower petals. We strain muscles as we ascend. Stand cliffside and observe the singing jester, shirtless, prancing about southbound, eastbound, northbound, westbound, exploring as we go. New adventures await, exciting the soul. The days are getting longer. My brain is getting stronger. Summer is in the air. Life, is it fair? We work too much to enjoy. I really enjoyed time with family. Believe it or not, life's not fair. The early bird gets the worm. The robins watch you till the garden, waiting for their turn to harvest. And I'll turn the face to the sun. It calls me with a silent plea. Notice me, or else I'll swim out to sea. Salty, crashing, cliffs so high, pillowy clouds floating in the sky. To the west, displays what's family power, the power that moves us through the universe. Family power. And that's everybody all working together, all the people you just met. Cassius included and Cleo included.
That was really cool.
Super cool. Exquisite Corpse is excellent. It's like a torrent poem, is what it is. It's excellent. One more time, y'all, for Nick Ramsey and family. Very cool. Well, Nick Ramsey, hopefully we can get you on the round robin to share a little bit more. All right.
Taxes are done.
Taxes are done. That's what a oh,
We get a round of applause for that. Let's get a round of applause for
yeah, let's
tax.
get a round of applause for the taxes.
Yeah.
Only thing for sure in life, the death and taxes, right? Trying to, oh, there it is. Okay. I am going to take this opportunity to share out, and then you've been put on notice. So be ready. This is not out of the anthology. This did not make it into the anthology, as it was more apropos for my own book, which is yet to come out. Everyone can hear me okay?
Nice and clear.
This is
Yes.
called by Tone Stanza, Thursday, October 20th, 2011 at 8:02 p.m. And in any event, that is when I transcribed this. I think I had this in my journal a little bit earlier than that. Some actual movement, I feel this revolution has the power to effect. Within regards to action, I feel potential is infinite. Limitless we are, only bound by confines of our own minds. What I pray for? Change for the better. Positive evolutionary manifestations. We, as a nation, have been in a collective slumber, lulled to sleep by the powers that be. This is why I feel movements have some contempt for those who appear to be in control. I recall the state to be analogous to the modern contemporary Western nuclear family. We, our children, playing PlayStation, tired of Doritos, syrup, graphics no longer capture our imagination. We have surpassed tactics to occupy us while they fight over bills, drink wine, take vacations. They've had their time to be fickle, frolicking through their folly. What us kids and grandparents who have been dishonored by being cast into a home need now is action. The bills must be paid or lights will be cut off. No more PlayStation, heat, or lights. Food in the fridge is in danger of being spoiled, what little food there is left, and not even enough quality sustenance containing complete nutrition. Not to mention grandma and grandpa are about to be thrown out on the street without access to their medicine. We, quite frankly, demand action now, while there is still time to enrich quality of our lives and move forward. Things become either more so or less so, rarely staying the same. That is really quite a large piece of the puzzle and a big part of the problem. Corporate leadership, policymakers, interpreters, enforcers have gotten drunk off the wine, meat, and cheese in our land of milk and honey. They have turned our system, which has provided this to them for their service, into their own personal playground of wealth, affluence, influence, control, and power. They have become overprotective, stingy, greedy, paranoid, and 1000% vested in preserving the system the way it is in order to allow them to preserve, continue, and perpetuate their way of life, passing it down to their offspring. Only problem is, their attempt to take permanent ownership of our system is flawed in that it was not ever theirs for the taking. They were simply placed there for a time by the people in order to serve at the pleasure of the people, in order to preserve, better, and further the people's way and quality of life. Had the people, for a second, felt it was not in their best interest to put the system in place, we definitely will have constructed a system that functioned properly, unlike the broken system in existence today in which only a select few members of our society enjoy a good and decent quality of life. The rest live in misery. While the rest live in misery. Broken families and dreams, squalor, suffering, failed marriages, businesses and homes on the verge of foreclosure, raising kids brought up on food barely passable as such, doped up on Ritalin and oppressed with invented syndromes that justify doping our children up on said meds under the eye and scrutiny of Big Brother, tapping our phones and our IP addresses, cracking our habits and entertainment selections, poisoning our water supply, our groundwater, our bodies of water, contaminating our air, controlling our weather patterns, forcing natural disasters, melting our polar ice caps, and destroying our good ozone. Not to mention cluttering our night skies with tens of thousands of satellites, killing our people in the name of war, killing sick people in the name of justice, choosing to kill babies for the sake of choice, exploiting our women's bodies for the sake of more profit, programming our children to go along with all of this as if this is our way of life. It just always has been, and it just is the way that it is. There have always been cars. There have always been pollution. There never really was slavery. We've always used the internet and cell phones and dumped toxic chemicals into the river and bullshit. None of that is true. Somewhere along the line, when we were young, Mama was taught by the machine, controlled by these fools. It's cool to let your kids drink the Kool-Aid. Just add fluoridated tap water to dyed powder and mix it with some refined stripped of all value white sugar. Add ice. They always make it freezing cold to mask the poison like cheap beer. Fluoridated tap water by itself is harmless, but Mix it with Kool-Aid and add commercials and make-believe, and you got bite model. Madness. The system is broken, so it only serves those who are supposed to serve us. Ironic. The only agenda now is to keep it broke so that, guess why? The whole heart of every urban community is being offered Kool-Aid with Pepsi as alternative or tap water. Doritos, Pepsi, 20-piece nuggets, frozen microwave, refined carbohydrates, syrup, and white sugar. Crazy. We must have a reformation of the system so that it works again for the entire country. Duh, I have one simple change I propose that I have been proposing since August 2001, my first semester at Berkeley. Call born citizens of the United States, United Stasians. Formally classify United Stasians as a race, ethnicity, and nationality. Duh. Winning. So simply very easy to do. Someone from Africa who becomes a naturalized citizen is the definition of a true African American who is an ethnic minority. We affect this model as usage for all immigrants. From Poland, naturalized citizen, Polish American. Duh, so simple. These immigrants' children born in the United States become first generation born United Stasians, who are obviously part of the ethnic majority in this country, the racial majority, United Stasians. Brilliant. Such a small change. I feel it's a realistic one. Easy to do. I don't expect people will adopt and believe in this, at least not right away, but that's not the point. The point is that textbooks, public policy, government forms, the census, PSAs, etc., it can all be changed to read right and be accurate. Stop color coding race and ethnicity of our people. That's what makes our people the most interesting. We all look different. Ancestry and heritage are no less important than race, ethnicity, and nationality, but round these parts, they're not all synonymous. And that's that piece. Coming to the stage, one time for your mind, Grassroots. Warm round of applause for Nicholas Michael Ravnikar.
That's me. And Ramona. Ramona's here too.
Hey, Ramona. Hey, Ramona.
What's the deal here? Is it one piece or a time limit? What's the mic like here? 3 minutes?
Up to 3 pieces or 10 minutes.
Oh, hot damn. All right. I got a couple things. This one is called Unthought. When the unthinkable actually happens, try to remember that it can't be unthought. This one is, Nick will remember this one. This is not entirely me. This is me and Nick and a young man named Jude and Earth Talina. And I guess this one is titled, You May Not Believe This. You may not believe this, but I will not eat this applesauce and soup broth, ice cream and cheese sticks. You may not believe this. Cryptid's existence is disputed because unsubstantiated by the scientific process. You may not believe this. I once saw an oropendic. It took out my appendix and danced around in spandex. I once saw a bunch of cryptids showering at Planet Fitness. From the Sasquatch to the Loch Ness, their sweat stunk, so they rinsed it. You may not believe this. The Makole Mbembe was arguing with the Yeti about what the wind says on Wednesday. I'm about to eat these pizzas, pistachios and pizzas, while creeps iron their pants creases and the landlords resign all their leases. You may not believe this. Your headlights are displeasing. Those LEDs are abusive. If there's a deer, my eyes can't see it. You may not believe this. Bionic knees have many features. Hold the specimens with tweezers. My nostrils are heavy bleeders. You may not believe this. Complete degrees need a thesis. Like Kathy Lee needed Regis. Butchers chop meat with cleavers. You may not. You may not. You may not believe this. This is a little thing that doesn't have a title.
Yeah. Shout out to Jude. the
Shout out to
originator,
Jude.
all day.
Shout out to Jude. You may not believe this. This is just a little rhyme. I guess it's kind of a ramble. Yeah, I think it's just ramble. I like a little tingle on the bottom of my bits. Dr. Bronner Peppermint, I give a little spritz. Never mind how many minds my emotions seem, while every tiny sign of life in the ocean dreams. And even where the light is confined to a single beam, more than anyone could ever be, every single thing you need. Little bit thinner than a thread through a camel's eye. Looking for a puzzle, maybe I'm your guy. Come on, kind of shy of the rhymes and why it's time to fly. Open wide a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh eye.
Yeah. Ramona likes it too.
Ramona likes it too.
Right, Ramona? Yeah, okay.
This one, I got two more. This one's called Dharma Crumb. The world this morning reaches out to me so strange. It even feels odd to say the candle is a flower. Fails to capture how the brilliance of the wick's lotus blooms. From the subtle ripples melt away in the pool of wax below. And finally, I leave you with beef dust. I heard somebody give a little chuckle. Beef dust.
Can we all say it together?
Please. Yeah, let's all.
One,
Can you
two,
count it off?
three.
Beef dust.
Yes.
Beef dust.
If I ever become a professional wrestler, you know what my character is gonna be.
Beef dust.
Beef dust. Long, sad, in it primes, the soul quantum body that involves a lot more sense. Hey, you are you and the ice. No me gusta que no se puede hacer nada y que no se pueda hacer el favor de la gente. Hey, you are the ice. Hey, you are who you are. The ice, ice, ice. No mejor. Thank you.
Yeah. That's good, man.
That's what's up. Thank you for sharing out. One more time, everybody, show your love for Nicholas Ravnikar.
Hey, Ramona. What?
Hey, Ramona. Okay. So we're into the round robin, and I would like to call up to the microphone Esteban. Esteban, would you mind sharing out one more time?
I can do that.
Everyone, Grassroots, show your love one more time for Esteban.
Esteban.
Hey.
Esteban.
All right. I feel like I have to do this one right now. This is self-definition via WWF. I was always too short, too young, too brown to play the hero. Found the unclaimed, the odd, the so darn weird nobody fought me over it. At 7 years old, I ran around the playground declaring, I'm the indestructible midget. Imagining shaking ropes, a pint-sized ultimate warrior, till years refused to swell my muscles and I began to see myself a little more Captain Jack, Cactus Jack. Less a monster than a man who simply refused to stay down, would always stand with the strangest soul in the room. And I found that these were the things that finally stuck.
Yeah, Esteban.
I see.
Grassroots, show your love for Esteban.
Thank you.
Hey. Do you have one more, Esteban?
Yeah, I can. You know what? I'm gonna do The Secret Life of Orange.
That's what's up. Let's hear it.
Orange loves to drink with friends. Will happily buy the first round and a couple more, playfully teasing any non-drinkers till they either share their drug of choice or suddenly decide to go home early. Orange loves roughhousing, often reminisces on his frat days and loves telling stories before complaining on how they cracked down on the hazing. Orange went to prison once for assaulting a prostitute after paying her $2,000 to be completely honest. He starts telling the story with where she hid the knife, follows up by showing the scar on his side, then complains about our justice system, the way that darn whore got off with self-defense. Orange always leaves out her eye swollen shut, the permanent imprint of his large choking hands, how much he paid, exactly what the request was, and the ocean that exploded from his eyes when she looked right through him. Thank you.
Yeah.
Esteban, everybody. That's what's up. Thank you for sharing out. Okay. Well. I know we're 3 minutes to 8, but I think we're gonna go over a little bit. And if you need to check out, that's fine. But feeling the love. We've got some heavy hitters here, some heavy hitting artists with some magnificent words. And so I'd like to call up on the round robin to the stage one time for your mind, Thomas Carr, if he has another one to share. Thomas
Right.
Carr, everybody. Grassroots, show your love for Thomas Carr.
I have 3 short poems. They're rough notes that seem to have potential, if that's all right.
Have at it.
And just 2 points. The context of these are a couple of recent deaths, a friend and a dog. And despite all the religious imagery, I'm still a scientist, which means atheist. March 8th, 2024. For the living, when death meets life, you then celebrate. While betting thread against scissor, no pennies staked. You advance when angels and demons stare, while they haven't a table set, bowed, or pulled out the chairs. In the presence of wings alight and horns Eiffel tall, you must suffer the height and own the fall. I can imagine a mountainous brilliant flash, and my vision ironed into smoothest black. What does it mean to look upon heaven from below when we live in its sky of rock and water and snow? What does it mean to look upon heaven from above when the appeals are carrion for raven and seed for dove? I heard the screams. I thought I'd come around to see the murders that birthed this town. March 16th, 2024. I do not stand on the water, nor do I stand on the beach. I stand at the prow where attention leads. Black sands, black beach, black heart wobbling on its feet. I do not walk on water. I do not walk on land. I walk where stars light from the sand. I am the love. I am the kill. I live at the bottom of gravity's well. I am the smile of the rich and grave. I'm the sunbeam, prisoner of time. I'm the contract that everyone signed. I raised the flag that was shot down. I saw the mace, the armor, and the sword, my winter childhood of stiff, stinging fingers and wet mittens, beauty nowhere, aside from the piled bloody sheets of the folded dying sky. The cold clouds were cadaverous then, as they are now, and again tomorrow, as slow as a slowly floating ground. Winter is just a fossil in the cold. The trees flounce and bounce and bud in dirty gold. Their dance is a recoil from punches landed by the wind. In the hours of the deer, in the grayish notes of evening, after the sun boards its suicidal crossing, in the gray saturation, the full cost is clear. I should not dream of the places fair. I must write in the perfume heights of divinely burning hair, smoke as pale as grief drifting upon the graves, and see beyond this vista of rotten hay. I'm not me anymore. I am the ghost fleece. I have the world once more. And then March 19th. Death. We're the one I don't want to feel. Grief. You are love in spasms. The two of you bastards have the real. I don't want a mark on my boy. I don't want my wife spun like a toy. I don't want to have anything to do with you, but you tower over all feeling and rationality. You are love come to stay. You are where life has put itself in play. You are the temptation to give all away. You are what nothing else can replace. You are the heart felt in the fullness of its weight. I never knew the danger of the heart when it's taken up all the space. If either of you have wings, leather or feather, then fly the hell away. I can watch myself drown. I will see the feather down. I have no ideas that are my own. My hat was on the chair when you sat down. I'm pacing outside the door in the cold freeze. I speak only in stories that you don't believe. I can't keep my eyes from the zenith of beauty. I won't condemn desire or lust when they're broken truly. I'll keep my ideas in the dark. I'll keep from any covenant I'd shelter in an ark. All the hands are there in rows. I took all the times entitled. All I'm inclined to do is let go. Thank you. That's
what's up. One more time, Grassroots, show your love for Thomas Carr. Crazy eloquent speaker. What a wonderful poet. We have been blessed with so much wonderful art this evening. I need to find where. Oh, here you are. And okay. And so I don't know if our feature is still with us. I don't see on the list that she's here. But I want to thank Jessie Lynn McMains for sharing out this evening. I do encourage you to donate to our one of the links that I'm leaving in the chat. And for those of you who joined late, I just shared it again, shared out again. Your donation will be split 50-50 between Family Power Music and tonight's feature. We will have this program archived and available on our Facebook page, Family Power Music Facebook, and I am working to put, I have a bunch of these backlog that I need to share out onto our YouTube channel. And that will be happening toot sweet. So be on the lookout for that. Let's see here. I will share something short and sweet on the way out. It's called, and this is from, again, from our founder anthology, which can be purchased on our website, familypowermusic.com, for only $20. And there are 45 pieces in this anthology, 15 from each founder. And so this is the last offering that I'm sharing out in the book and with you tonight. It's called We Cannot Rewind. Time slips away without apology, leaving far in future. I'm in today, devout orthodoxy, dreaming stars with sutures. Reflection can be kind if choices wise, easy making missteps. We cannot rewind stories and the lies. Treat each day with respect. When wake another chance to make the most, never enough hours. Men take their brothers' laughs to heal the host. Sever the tough sours. Breathe deeply, lower heart rate. Remain calm. Secret longevity. She simply controls all fate's domain law, reason for mystery. What slips through hands before can get a grasp? A concrete illusion, but with true sand, the hourglasses pass one complete conclusion. And that's that piece. We cannot rewind. I want to thank our feature, Jessie Lynn McMains. I want to thank all of you for tuning in this evening. Without you, we would be nothing. And so together we are an arts community, an artist community. We are artists supporting artists, which is critical because without art, what do we have? Calculus, the periodic table, physics, Newton's third law. Art is amazing, and it is what fills in the gaps and cracks in your life that need that spackle that holds it all together and makes it look nice and neat and clean and beautiful. And so I pray that you feel and you see the beauty that tonight has brought to all of us in collectivity. And I want to thank you. I want to thank all of you. So we will be back at it again, second Sunday next month. And if I check on May already? Next month is May? Good grief. That's May 12th. So I was confirmed May 9th. That lives in my mind forever. May 9th of like 1992. So, but yes, May 12th, we'll be back at it again with a new feature and a new lease on life for a new show. So hopefully we'll see you back then. Until then, please take care of yourself and take care of your family and friends, your loved ones. You are surrounded by love and you matter more than you know. You matter more than you know to those that are in your circle of family and friends. God bless. Love and light. Peace out.